and welcome to Real Pro Fridays. I'm your host, Sean Will, sales manager, New American Funding. A little bit of technical difficulties there, but we're back to you live. We have a special guest all the way from Upper Marlboro, Maryland. We're going to bring her on in just a second. And so, Real Pro Fridays, we want to bring professionals in these categories to you and showcase them and their expertise so that you know what their role is and you can make an educated decision about the professional that you choose. And so just want to bring our mission statement up really, really quickly. Hopefully you can see that on the screen. And so our mission for Real Pro Fridays is to interview industry professionals and learn what has made them successful, gain insights and wisdoms from them of all aspects of the home buying and selling process so that you can make you can enjoy an amazing home buying and home selling experience. So that's our mission right now. And I'm going to bring up really quickly a dynamic young lady that I met a few years ago. Had an opportunity to serve with her during the Thanksgiving holiday, where PG Carr was out in the community giving away turkeys for Thanksgiving, and so we were serving together. And I was like, she was like, I know you. I was like, yeah, I know you. And so we reconnected and I was able to get her on the show. She's very, very busy. And before I bring her on, I wanted to do something really, really quickly. See that link on the screen? I want you to do me a huge favor and I want you to go over to that link and register. Because during our entire From Dream to Reality series that airs every third Thursday at 2 o'clock, and one is coming up on the third Thursday of February, we have free giveaways that we want to put into your hands, some tools and information that's going to help your buying experience be more fulfilling and stress free. That's a good word, right? So go to that website, right? When you go to that website, here's what you're going to see on my screen. You're going to see this website. Let me get that out your way really quick. You're going to see this website. As soon as you log onto this website using that link that I just showed you, you're going to see first of all who is going to be on that show for that Friday. And then all you do is come down here to Real Pro Fridays, and then you would click on that link. Click on that link after you say okay, and then you click on Real Pro Fridays at the bottom, and then you'll be able to understand what this all about, and then you can book and choose your date. Today is the on the 4th. Well, today is already gone, but the next date would be the 4th. Um, and so we want you to go ahead and register. And if you register now before the 11th, I will still send you this information from today's show. Okay. Uh, so let's take that off really quick. So clap it up really quickly, and I'm gonna bring to the stage none other than Miss. Hold on. Let me bring up. I don't want to slice you. Let me bring it up. There it is. I want to bring up Miss Leslie Collier, and she is your real estate concierge. That sounds like some real personal service to me. Let's bring her up.
Happy Friday!
Hello, how are you?
I am wonderful. I'm wonderful. Thank you for inviting me to come on and chop it up with you.
Absolutely, I would not have it any other way. Thank you for taking time out of your schedule to join us today on Real Pro Fridays and going through the technical difficulties with me on the internet. If I controlled the internet, it would never go down.
Listen,
So
we've been living in Zoom for 2.5 years. So technical
yes,
difficulties, I think we're all okay. We're all okay. We've been
absolutely.
living on the virtual world. Stuff happens. It's okay. We're here now and we're gonna get it done.
Absolutely, absolutely. So tell everyone who is Leslie Collier and what is your real estate concierge all about?
Well, Leslie, let me start with this. Your real estate concierge really was born out of my transition into real estate. So, formerly, I was about 20 years in the hospitality industry. So, some may have seen me as a wedding planner, director of catering, and so on and so forth. So, real estate concierge is a circle kind of experience with me. So I've gone from one experience of creating a milestone to helping with another experience with, helping to fulfill others' dreams of home ownership. So it was a really nice transition, a bridging of the gaps for me. I've been in the business I'm going on to my third year, but
Nice.
not even, hey, I've gone into it guns blazing, really active in the community. As you kind of mentioned, I heard you a little bit. I am actually currently vice chair on the PG-CARP, Prince George's County Association of Realtors, vice chair for the Community Service Committee. So we do a lot of outreach within the committee. Personally, I do a lot of volunteering. I'm a single mom. So you see me out here in these streets. I live in the neighborhood. I am Prince George's raised. I still live here now. So yeah, when you come with me and join me, it's kind of a one-stop shop. Got a lot of tricks up my sleeve that I'm holding on to my buyers and my sellers. So that's the short version.
Okay. Outstanding. So thank you so much for that. Well, let me ask you this. Next question on the screen. What drew you
Mhm.
to real estate industry as a career?
So you know what? In making the decision to come into real estate, I've always been in a sales background and I've always been in the business of relationships. So that was most important to me is in going in and deciding, because real estate for me is a second career. So I'm
Mhm.
transitioning from one going into the next. And what was really important to me going into real estate was all about wealth building and
Okay.
having those opportunities and bringing those opportunities to people who wouldn't necessarily think about home ownership, and encouraging home ownership and helping to build wealth and build legacies for our future. As I mentioned, I'm a
Outstanding.
mom, so those things come front and center for me. Of what, it's important what you do while you're here on this earth above ground,
Absolutely.
and so that dash is super important to me. And what is the legacy? So I wanted to kind of do that, and like I said, bring that financial literacy piece, bring that wealth building piece, and introduce a concept to some who get so caught in the cycle of, what, that's not for me, and it really is more accessible than people think.
Outstanding, outstanding. So interesting that you mentioned wealth building. That's something dear to my heart as well. So we're going to definitely have you back. You want to make some notes and be prepared. We're going to definitely have you back in the fourth quarter, where our fourth quarter series on our From Dream to Reality podcast
Mhm.
is all about uh, cash cow or money down the drain. So what we're talking about is wealth building. We have some professionals coming on talking about how we can use our equity to build wealth and that kind of thing, and what portion of it is tax free. And that's going to bring professionals on. So mark your calendar. We can after the show. I can give you more information about that. Definitely want to bring you back for that, so you can share some of your wisdoms there. Now, what attracted you to the brokerage um, Exit Flagship Realty out there in Upper Marlboro?
Mhm. So when I went into real estate after I took all of the pre-licensing, and I am one of these people that I am not easily sold. Isn't that crazy? I'm a salesperson and I am not easily sold to. But I will say this, with making a choice to come over to Exit Flagship was a very organic and very natural fit for me. At
Nice.
the time, I actually had come, Exit is actually not my first brokerage. So at that time, as a newbie, and I'm still kind of a newbie, and it, because I feel like everybody less than 5 years is still a newbie,
Mhm.
and everything. But it was so organic. It was my broker, Melvin Yates over there, is super hands on. It's many resources, especially for a lot of agents who are considering brokerages and they are dual career. Um, they're supportive. It was all of the tools that I needed to be successful. There's still tools that we're constantly kind of on top of the trend of trying to make sure that we have access to, so that we can kind
Mhm.
of function better and bring
Nice.
more experience and bringing more technology to our clients. So for me, like I said, it was an organic choice,
Mhm.
and it just fit really, really well.
Outstanding, outstanding. I have a couple of more questions, but first, I have
Mhm.
this image that you share with me, and I wanted you to kind
Okay.
of walk us through some of those points. And of course, everything that we display on our Real Pro Fridays. If you take a moment, everyone, and go to this website, And not one. Hold on. Let me get your website there. You want to go here to the website and you want to go ahead and register, put your information in there so that we know who to send this information to. We don't know who you are, but we want to put this in your hands. So if we register, it's free. We'll be able to email that right over to you. And we promise we won't spam you.
No,
All right.
I don't
All
believe in
right. So here,
spamming.
absolutely. Yeah, we want to create friends, right?
That's right. I just told you it's about
All right.
relationship.
About relationship, absolutely. So let me get this off the screen really, really quickly. I want you to walk us through this really fast. You don't have to go through everything, but just kind of step us through. You have you have your first time home buyer client. They reached out to you. They saw you on Real Pro Fridays, and they say, "Okay, Leslie sounds like the real estate agent that I want to work with." And you get that call uh, from the
Mhm.
number. We're going to put it back up on screen. You get that call, and then
Well, first I want to thank them for taking the time because there are a lot of agents out here. So for anyone to take the time to kind of really consider and allow me the opportunity to work with them is the first stop for me. The second thing I want to do is really get an idea of what their home objectives are, because that's the most important thing. I hear constantly, oh, is now a great time to buy? Is now a great time to buy? And I can certainly, and Sean, you can attest to it. We can certainly tell you that
yeah,
absolutely now's a great time to buy because the rates are great and this and that and the other and so on and so forth. However, if you haven't done your due diligence, then maybe now is not the right time. And doing your due diligence, I mean, have you put any money to the side? I encourage my buyers, put money to the side. If you are currently a renter and you've just signed a lease, now is still an opportune moment for you to put a little bit here, a little bit of a nest egg for the side. Have you decided on what are going to be your timeline? How quickly are you looking to move? Are you looking to move in the next 3 months, 6 months, a year? What does that look like for you? And then also, what are your home goals? Are you looking to stay there as your forever home? Is it something that you want to do for 5 years? Is it an investment property for you? So we really want to take a look at what that homeowners or that future homeowners objectives are before we get started so that I can certainly personalize that experience for them.
that's where that your real estate concierge come in, personalizing that
That's
service, right?
exactly where it comes in because
Out
every every buyer is not the same. Everybody's not looking for the same thing. I will say for myself in looking at homes and things like that, I'm a single mom of two daughters. So for me at one point, schools were very, very important. But then for some others, they want to be near a walkable community. They want to be near dining. They want to be close to 95 or they want to be close to Baltimore or whatever the case is. So that's going to look very different from everyone. And then also, some people may even say, you know what? I'm tired of being in the house. I've got 1,200 square feet and I really could use some green space. I want to go way out to the Southern Maryland. So it
yes,
really
come
just
on down.
depends. Yeah, I was going to say it depends on what their goals are.
Outstanding, outstanding. So I understand, from our previous conversations that you also work with sellers as well, is that right?
I do. I do. I absolutely do.
And so in your capacity in working with sellers, um, give us a couple of things. I'm gonna bring up the graphic that you shared with me in just a
Mhm.
moment. Give us a couple of things that you do with your sellers that help you to stand out.
Again, it's like it's no one stop shop. It's not a cookie cutter experience because even with the sellers, you want to really sit down with the sellers and not only assess the house and see what the comps are, but you want to give your seller a real time uh look at what the market is doing, how much equity they may have in their home, and also walking the property with that seller to let them know it's like, if because here's the question, here's what gets said all the time. Well, my neighbor down the street got XYZ for their house, so I want to put mine on the market for XYZ. Well, it has to be an apples to apples comparison. If neighbor down the street's house is 5 bedrooms, two garage, and yours is 3 bedroom, 1.5 bath, well, you're not going to get the same amount of money. So just wanting to bring a real life experience for them and show them what things that they may need to do. Because another thing, a question I get often is what things can I add to my home to add value to the home. I'm not sure if I want to sell it now, but I want to make some renovations or I want to make some updates. So they want to make sure that those updates are going to give them that money back as well. Because every
Exactly.
renovation or every update, again, isn't
Doesn't
created
add the value
equal.
you need.
That's
Right.
right. Because you may love it, but the next person who buys your home, not so much.
So I've seen it just in my travels. I've come across many different brokerage signs in yards, and I look at the house, and I think about if I'm a buyer and I'm looking at this house, the first thing that I see is the silhouette where the house is located. So
Mhm.
when you look at the house, even though you're looking at the house itself, you also see the grass, you see the
Absolutely.
sidewalk, you see the driveway. And so any tips there about landscaping and things like that? Curb appeal. What messaging do you have about curb
Absolutely.
appeal?
Absolutely, because it is crazy, but just exactly what you said, most home buyers or future home owners will make an assessment of your property within the first 7 to about 15 seconds just driving up. So curb
Mhm.
appeal is immensely important. So take a look at shrubbery, take a look at the grass, take a look at walk around your house as if you were a potential home or someone looking to buy, and look and see, take a look, is the are the gutters hanging down, is there anything overgrown? You want to take a look at it kind of with fresh eyes, because that's what they're going to pick apart in the negotiation. So
May not
absolutely,
even walk in, right?
may not even walk in the door. I've had it happen. I've had it happen where we pulled up and immediately the buyers that was working with, they're like, you know what, Leslie, we're done. I'm done. So
I'm not
before we
going in
went in,
there.
so you want to take a look at the shutters. You want to take a look at paint, if any paint is peeling. You want to look at uh, the backyard. You want to, even if you're thinking about putting your house on the market anytime soon, what you want to do is get rid of all the excess. So all of the, oh, you know what, I've got 10 shovels over here and I've got a shed full of, whatever in there. You want to really start to minimize a lot of those things. And what I like to do is, even because I'm huge on upcycling,
Mhm,
so, you
mhm.
know what? Go through and organize. And sometimes, you know what? There is uh, Purple Heart. There are lots of charities. Goodwill has a resale store, or not Goodwill, but Habitat Humanity has a restore. So go back through. If those pieces of equipment you absolutely love, but you're not using it, someone
Right,
else
right,
could love it. But yeah,
right.
you really need to go through and get rid of all of the excess. The same thing to be said on the interior of the house is, again, those are things that you love, but remember that new home buyer is coming in and they are trying to picture themselves in that
In that
house.
house.
Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. Outstanding, Leslie. I appreciate that. Hey, listen, guys, look, Leslie Collier, your real estate concierge. You want to call this number, hit that extension, send her an email. You definitely want to get in touch with her. As you can see, she's very knowledgeable. She cares about you, Mr. and Mrs. Homebuyer, and you, Mr. and Mrs. Home Seller. So you definitely want to give her a call and add her to your team. And so, again, register so we can get this information, the slides that we showed you. We want you to get this information out to you. And so right here before we close, Leslie, have a
Mhm.
couple more questions for you really, really quickly.
Shoot.
And here's one right here.
Mhm.
What would you say is the key that has made you successful so far in these 3 years that you've been in the business?
You know what? It is about, for me, it is always about the relationship first. The sale will come
Hmm.
later. The sale will come. If I've done my job properly and I've done my due diligence and offering more value to my clients, be it buyer or seller, if I
Hmm.
have done my job well, that is it. That's the key for me. That is the key. Is because
Outstanding.
if I go after it just for the number, just for the number, just for the number, then it's not necessarily going to garner me the results, because again, it's about relationship. Not only do I want to sell or buy a home for you, but I want you to think of me when your neighbor is looking for a property, your relative is looking for a property, your son or daughter is, hey, they're trying to buy their first home. So I don't want that relationship to end when I take the sign out of the yard or we've gotten keys at the settlement table. That relationship continues for me. The other thing about it is active listening, because as I mentioned before, it's about making sure that I am matching the objective to that client properly.
Important.
So like I said, it's definitely about making sure it's going to work. And then the other thing is I want to kind of take the extra time to kind of ready my clients, to let them know here is what's going on in the market. Here's where we may need to pivot. Let's create a strategy for success, because at the end of the day, I want you to be successful, and success means you've gotten a new set of keys or you've sold that property. And when you've done that, then you know what? I'm as successful too. That's how I look at it.
Outstanding, outstanding. That's part of my philosophy as well. Relationship. It's easy to see how the industry has evolved from the crisis. There's a lot more conversation about relationship now. It should always be that way, but a lot more conversation about a relationship, but it's not enough. It's not, because I hear buyers all the time talking about not being able to communicate with their loan officer, not being able to, don't understand, their loan program and things like that. When you're in a relationship with a client, or a relationship in general, you want to make sure that they know the particulars of this product or service that they're seeking. They have spheres of influence. They have people in their lives that care for them and they care for, that they have these conversations with, and you want to empower them to have these conversations, right? And so
Absolutely.
relationship kind of drives what I do as well. So I'm excited. I'm glad that you came on the show. And so you did talk about, that was my next question. You did talk about some community service and things like that. If you had any more that share there, feel free to do so.
Well, I mean, like I said, community service is a big part of my philosophy, my personal philosophy. I have worked in 2 industries now where it is definitely big money to be made. But just as important as making money and being able to support my family is to be able to pay it forward and give it back also. So I don't want you to see me only when it's time to sell a house. I want you to let us know that, hey, I live in your community. Things that are important to you in the community are important to me as well. Like I said, I have 2 children that go to school in Prince George's County as well. We're out there. So if it is, we've done things with Prince George's County Association of Realtors. We've done a lot of things out in the community, from Sean, when you and I reconnected at Thanksgiving time, that those are part of our signature things that we do as a constant. We do food drives, we do coat drives, we do giveaways. We've participated in Christmas in July, where we've gone in and helped residents to kind of restore their homes and so forth. We have lots of things coming up. We have outreaches where we've gone into the schools and served lunch for teachers. We have even, so here's a fun fact about me.
Oh, you got me into my next question. Hold on, let me go on.
I'm not even an outside girl, but see, this is where that community service piece comes into play.
I guess.
So I am so not an outside girl, but what we do, we also have a plot at the Rock Urban Community Farm and Garden over in Temple Hills. So Leslie, who is not an outside girl, I hate everything that creepy crawly, but we actually go over there and I learned, and I've started to love it. But yeah, we go over there in the community. Temple Hills is one of those areas that has been deemed a food desert. So we go over there with the residents, hands in the dirt, getting dirty, and we help to kind of bring awareness to organic growing and all of those things where again there would not
Nice.
necessarily be. So yeah, I'm out here, and if anyone has an area that
Good.
they like me to kind of hang out with them or something that needs to be done, like I said, we try to kind of put our hands in all of those pots, but understand is that again, that's part of that relationship. It's not a one-off. Not
Outstanding,
a one-off.
outstanding. So in closing, any closing thoughts that you wanna have, as we shut down this segment of Real Pro Fridays? Any closing thoughts you wanna share and leave with
So
the audience?
here's I keep bringing back that relationship, but here's one of those silver linings. Because if there is a silver lining to be made from the last 2 years of where we've been, is
Mhm.
that people have really started to pay attention. As you mentioned earlier, is that now you've noticed that people are really looking for service. And that's what it is. I think when we kind of shut down during 2020 early on, people
Mhm.
started focusing a little better as well. So service is still active, and a big commitment of mine, and going out there. People have become, I think, a bit nicer, a little
Mhm.
bit more humane. I could be wrong. I'm an optimist, so
Absolutely.
know.
Absolutely, absolutely. We're
But
gonna believe
I
that.
think that this is definitely, we've gained a really good momentum now. As I mentioned, is a really good time. I kind of started to talk about it a little bit, but now's a great time to kind of consider home buying or even home selling, and
Mhm.
even kind of having the conversation, as you mentioned, about wealth
Absolutely.
building and financial literacy. So now's a great time to do it.
Time to do that.
Thank you for inviting me
Absolutely.
on. I'm a
We
talker, so
thank
I
you.
could talk all day.
It's all good. It's all good. I thank you so much for being on the show and taking time out of your busy day to talk with our audience about what you do and what makes you successful and the service that you've been rendering in the community. So we thank you so much for what you're doing for our community. You're definitely an example. And so I want to remind everyone as we close out that you want to give Leslie a call. She's your real estate concierge. Her number is 301 841 751 extension 18. And that is her email at the bottom there, Leslie at Exit Flagship Realty over there in Upper Marlboro, Maryland. She definitely will take care of you. I'm a testament to that. We just closed the loan a couple weeks ago. She just took care of this young man, a young millennial buyer, and very nervous. And she definitely took care of that young man. And so kudos to you.
Thank you.
Awesome. So
And
you
thank you. I was going to say it's about relationships with my partners, and I have great partners like yourself. So thank you for helping me to get it done, because I can't do it by myself.
You're absolutely welcome. I'm gonna give you the rest of your day back, and you have a great day. Okay.
Thank you. You have a great weekend. I'll talk to you soon.
Absolutely. All right. Bye bye.
Bye.
Outstanding, guys. So again, Leslie Collier, your real estate concierge. You definitely want to reach out to her when you get a moment. Got really quickly. I have another piece I want to share with you really quick. Some news that just broke. I'm a little bit excited about this because it helps kind of solidify the interest that New America has in our buyers and in our homeowners as well. So this is on our website. So I'm going to show you our website. You can go to newamericanfunding.com and then you can click on the newsroom at the bottom there. You just click on that newsroom tab that I have highlighted, and you'll come to this segment. So we've just partnered with Vivian, excuse me, a solar energy solar panel tech company that also offers home security, wireless home security. Great company. We just partnered with them, and they're offering some value. You can see the value package that you possibly get when you purchase. So here, I want you to be the first to know this. This is going to be, it just happened. As you can see, the date that this was released is February 2nd. So we're still in the process of solidifying this, as well as developing material to bring to you. So stay tuned. And I'm going to bring you some more probably in the second quarter, where we talk about destination home ownership on our From Dream to Reality live stream, which happens every third Thursday at 2 p.m. So that's also exciting. And so yours truly, just who you're talking to, Sean Wilson. I am the sales manager here at the Waldorf branch of New American Funding. And so you see a little bit about me there. I want you to give me a call if you have any questions about the home buying process, you have any concerns, even if you've been pre-approved already and you don't understand what you have, feel free to give me a call. There's no strings attached. I will definitely help you whether you decide to use me or not. I want to earn your business, but just give me a call. Just know that you can pick up the phone at 443-540-6069 and get someone on the phone that cares about your home buying experience and making sure that you're getting the best for your effort. All right. Thank you again for taking time to speak with me, and I'll give you back the rest of your day. Bye bye.